Dragon Slayers of the Ethers. BooherDragon, the Dragon Slayer here, and welcome to a new kind of video that I'm doing.
Whoa, 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 whoa! This video's almost 25 minutes long. Are you? Oh my gosh! This video was originally meant to be 5 to 10 minutes long, but it seems like I got a bit carried away with the talking. Don't worry, the next sketchbook tour will 100% be about 5 to 10 minutes long. But I guess we're just in for the long haul for this one. Have fun.
I'm doing a sketchbook tour. This is going to be week one of the sketchbook tour. This is one of my old sketchbooks. I have about 2 to 4 other sketchbooks. It depends how far back I want to go for my sketchbooks. But this is last year, this is like at the beginning of last year about that I got this specific sketchbook. And I think it's just going to be a good idea to see my progress that I've had over the year. And you will notice that over my summer of this year, 2019, I have had a huge art ability increase, and I am really proud of it. And hopefully I can do the same thing next year. But let's get right into it. First we have here is this Frogman sketch. This would be part of my my art class. Every week we would have some kind of sketch that we would have to submit, and this one was apparently amphibian. So kind of like the Inktober challenge idea, where you have like a certain prompt they have to do. This was kind of the idea, and you can see here I kind of had let me bring it closer up to the camera, my character creation idea. So first I went like from that, and then the scarf as a tongue was an idea that I really enjoyed with this one, and you can see me fleshing it out. And then I kind of just went for like the body. This is how I used to draw my bodies, very simple, very I guess you could say stiff a lot of the time were these drawings. But this was my amphibian. He has his little staff and things. Geez, I have to speed it up, because if I go over all these sketches that much, this will be a very long video, and I want this video to be about 5 to 10 minutes, so I gotta start kicking it into gear. This one is, I'm gonna have to turn this one like this. Can you still see it? Yes, okay, cool. This was just drawing practice of dragons, because I used to really love to draw dragons, and when I got this sketchbook I was like, I need to get back into that and see if I can still draw dragons. I have a little bit of stuff there, but here was an idea that I had for a dragon that doesn't really have the little thing, the little wing bits, the in-between bits. And I was thinking, oh well, it could be where he runs really fast, so I was thinking of giving him like a really sleek, nice design with like big legs and big feet and big arms, where he could run fast and be very aerodynamic to launch himself into the air, to jump through a portal and teleport. And I thought that was a really cool idea. This was just a little drawing practice to see if I could draw a dragon laying down. It obviously didn't go very well. You can see this is not how that would work at all. Here I tried to do a more Chinese water dragon kind of thing, and I was always more into European dragons than Chinese dragons, not because just because I enjoyed drawing them more, and I kind of like the look of European dragons more, but I do like the whole snake feel of Chinese dragons. Here we start to get into my stage of my figure drawing practice, and I really wanted to get better at drawing my people and drawing different poses. And so there's this website I use, I don't remember what it is, but it's the most popular one, so if you just look up figure drawing practice, I'm sure you can find it. But this was my beginning stages of it, and you can kind of see I start getting a little more decent at it. I have like some shading, and I have the pose down, and a lot of these are women, because I never drew women too much. I've always found it difficult since I am a man and I don't have the lady bits. Here we have another pose that I was trying out. I really liked how this one came out, just with the anatomy. I feel like I was starting to get a better understanding of how the human body works, and this was definitely one that I liked doing. This is a man, obviously, and this is where I really felt like I had my construction down, like how I made my foundations of like the muscles and the bones and how all of that worked. This is another sketchbook assignment. The prompt for this one was one-eyed, so I was like, oh, we'll do a creator who just made this golem and he came back to life and he sheds a tear for him, and he has one eye open. Another dragon design. With this one I decided I wanted it to be more like huge wings. Like with this one I was thinking I want his wings to be huge and I wanted to just be mainly flying, and I had this cool idea for how the head would look. This was going to be a cool drawing. I was going to do a Revolt. This was when I was listening to Flowbots. They have a Revolt album they did a while ago, and while I was listening to the song, this idea kind of came into my mind where I'd have like a guy like climbing up a semi-truck, like getting ready to revolt, and like a bunch of people behind him. Never got too far, but again, it was just more figure drawing practice. Here we have, I actually remember drawing this in my world history class, and someone coming up to me asking, what are you drawing? Well, I was drawing this, I guess. Apparently the guy with a very tiny hand and a cane, a top hat. I always like drawing people with ties and top hats and things. This was like another dragon design. This was like kind of like a demon dragon. Try to squeeze it in here. The tripod's very awkward. But I guess that will do. I have like all these swirly bits because I was thinking like if I ever painted this I'd have like red, black swirly bits going around him to show his like aura. Here we have a plain ripoff of the Rooster Teeth show. What's his name? The Wanderer, the something, a plain ripoff of that. Another Bowman. I think I was surely trying to get this Bowman idea down. Oh yeah, and this is how this designed. So first I drew the character. I didn't do it intentionally, but I noticed it after I drew it. I'm like, wait, that's the guy from that Rooster Teeth show. But that evolved because I was like, well, I don't want to draw that. I don't want to take their ideas. So I went to a bowler hat, to antlers, to kind of like a cone hat, like the dunce hat, to a bowler hat with no eyes. And I kind of liked that idea, so I started playing around with like the no eyes idea. And then this guy in a bowler hat. I was like, yeah, that'd be a really cool idea. The guy with the bowler hat, no eye, and all this expression would come from the mouth. And you can see how that character design started building up in my head over the day or days. I don't necessarily remember. And I really like this idea of him having very sharp teeth and a long tongue. And having playing cards. Playing cards are another thing I like to draw. And eventually this is when I became up with my series. I started thinking, I gave all these characters like part of a show, and the show was going to be about like gods and things, and it was like a really cool anime idea that I had going on in my head, and I was like, oh, this guy could be the bodyguard or the god of luck or the butler that serves him, and he has like no eyes, he just has a mouth with sharp teeth, a long tongue, and a bowler hat, and he wouldn't wear a sport coat or a blazer, but he would have like a dress shirt with a tie and all of that, and he'd have his playing cards, of course. And then this was a failed design that eventually progressed into a successful design. And here we have the God of Wisdom. I started writing down what I really liked about these characters so that when I try to draw them again. So the God of Wisdom, I wanted him to be in a trench coat and have more of like a thug kind of idea. And I wanted to, this was idea for a different character, but I kind of like this idea of him having like mystical, like light binding chains that would go around his arm, and that'd be how he cast spells and things. I thought that was really cool. And then here we have Ares, and this was going to be one of the antagonists in my story, Ares being the god of war. And I was thinking, oh, we can have him like chained up and he can be like trapped in the underworld for doing something bad or something like that. Like he did some crime and now the gods have punished him by chaining him up and locking him down to the underworld. And from that I was like, oh, Hades. And for some reason I was like, oh, we're gonna give him a Hades staff, right? And we're gonna have him like be like a skull kind of head. We'll have him a big body but like tiny arms and tiny legs. I don't know why. And here we have Satan. I remember around this time period I was really drawing a lot of demons. Not in this sketchbook, but in some of my other sketchbooks. And I really love drawing horns. So a lot of my characters, I draw horns on them just because I love doing it. So we have like the design of Satan with like sharp claw hands and really long horns that curl into themselves, and I thought it was a really cool idea. Oh, and here we have a double character design of like darkness and light that would also go into the show. So like my idea was that Dark would be the man, but he'd be more of like a gentle kind of thing, because when you think of darkness you think of like evil and things, but I wanted to like flip that on his head. So I wanted like Light over here to be a female character that was more kind of evil and dark, if you will, but she represents the light and him representing the dark. Then we have Fenrir, which I was, just a dog dude, his tail and some ears. You'll notice a lot of these characters I wasn't drawing face, because that wasn't what I've been focusing on. Most of the time I was focusing on like the body type and figure drawing, because at the time that's what I was really wanting to do, so I wasn't worrying about faces or anything like that, because I knew I wouldn't be able to take on that much, so I was just really trying to get down my figure and my poses. Here we have the protagonist of our anime. It was going to be like a really tomboy female with like a scarf kind of deal going on. Here's just another pose. I tried getting down. Here we have a character design that I didn't want to spend too much time on, but a little bit of time. I don't quite remember this drawing that well, but I was trying to play around with like my hatching, shading, and like the background and stuff. Here we go into landscape. Eventually I do try to play around with my landscape, so I'm trying to like have a subway going through the city, so we have like a rail going over with a sign on it and like buildings, and then, or not a subway, but like a bullet train or something going through the city. Here we have like a Japanese landscape or something like that. I wanted to get like a tree in the background, like basically like you were walking up this path through a torii gate up to a tree, and it was a very hilly landscape is the idea of that one. I really like this idea. This was going to be like a fallen angel or a demon with like wings or something, so he's going to have these big giant angelic wings with his demon horns, and I really liked this one. I never got too far into it, but I liked the idea of it. Here we have like a predator kind of cyber looking guy with a sword. I was trying to like have slime or blood go across the screen or across the photo. It looks kind of interesting. Oh god. Oh my gosh. Ignore that one. Here's me playing around with the idea of like a sunset and like some hills, and here comes the tree and the torii gate again. I was really trying to practice my trees and torii gates. More figure practice. This is from one of my sessions of my fast figure drawing session, so I believe I had 30 seconds to draw each of these, so that I'd exponentially get very good at drawing poses. Here's again more figure drawing practice from the website, and I think I had 1 minute, I believe, 1 minute or 5 minutes for each of these poses. And then I eventually progressively got more time, so I think I have 10 minutes on this one. And I believe I had 10 minutes for this one as well. And this was me trying to put all that progress into an actual drawing. Looks interesting. There's a lot I don't like about this, but I'm sure that's why I didn't finish. But one of my more completed sketches, I suppose. More drawing practice. Oh, here we have when KDA Akali came out, and I tried drawing the splash art. So that's attempt 1. And I hated that, but what I would always do is I would always take notes of what I could change, even with my normal sketch. This is kind of where it stemmed from. So now if you look at my more up-to-date sketchbooks, I'll have like all these arrows and things pointing at it. It doesn't make sense to everyone, but I understand it. So I'll have like a bunch of arrows and like a list of what I want to change. And then out came attempt 2, which was much better, and I took all my lessons into effect there. And yep. So that was my KDA college drawing. Oh, here we have drawing practice of anatomy for proper anatomy up in here from Kenan Lafferty. I think I'll put his channel in the info cards up above over that way, or that way. I don't know how I'm going to put this video, but I said that last time, but I don't think I put his channel in the info card. But anyway, this is his drawing. This isn't my drawing. I just copied it on my screen. Like, I had it up on the screen, I just copied it down so that I could see how all this stuff works, and this really helped me understand this whole shoulder area of the body and how like the muscles flex and the bones interact. Here we have me playing around. Now that I have a general idea of how like bodies work and poses, I'm trying to do it without my skeleton and just try to draw like a male and female body, very classic male and female body, granted, and more practice with a female body. And now we get into analyzing faces. I'm pretty sure I got this also from a Kenan Lafferty video for practicing. And here you can see I'm toying around with noses, eyes, and mouths, and looking at the differences, getting where each thing goes. Here I'm making my little notes on what needs to change. Obviously my eyes are very off. And yep, these need to be moved over to the right, obviously, and all fixed. Here I tried drawing, I don't know what that is. Oh, this is also one of Kenan Lafferty's drawings that I tried copying. Again, this is not my drawing. I just tried copying it to see how he draws his figures and how he does his proportions and all of that thing. But copying is very good for practice, but never say when you copy something, never say it's yours. This is an example. This is not my drawing either. I don't quite remember who drew this, but you can see how like I stopped like doing the pose. With this drawing, I really liked how the artist did the face, the hair, and the hands, so that's what I concentrated on. And I think I did a but decently successful repetition of how the face and the hands and the hair look. And this piece actually really taught me a lot about hands and face construction and hair. Oh, here we have this. I think this would probably be the first sketch that I've done. Actually no, I think I did a sketch before this on my computer of an original character I have. His name is Bone, and he looks a lot different now than he does here, but I have like, he has long hair, longer hair on his right side of his face, and he has this like white tattoo that goes up from his chin up to his lips and goes to his nose. Here we have a drawing that I drew. I believe this was during exams, and I was pretty bored, so I was like, what do I draw? So I drew like no, this isn't during exams, I take that back. But I was like, oh, we can have like a Chinese kind of house structure with like lamps and stuff in the background. I didn't really care too much about the background, but like of a ninja and things. And you can see here, now I understand more about how like poses work. I understand more like on face construction. Here I was just trying to make some kind of monster, and I was playing around with like how the drool would affect it. And here you can see one of my biggest problems. So if I cut this in half, neither of these sides would look identical. They're not symmetrical even in the slightest. And this is a problem I have struggled with for a very long time, and just now I'm starting to overcome this problem, and it has been months of me practicing trying to get things symmetrical. A very hard problem to overcome. Here we have the very hilly environment with the torii gates. This is me toying around with scenery for a city that I was thinking of. So I was thinking of like a very Big Ben-esque building with some like circular buildings more on the outskirts, and like traditional looking kind of Asian households, and then skyscrapers as you go more towards the city. And I think I will do this like as an actual background drawing for good city practice and building cities, because that's something I need to practice on. So you'll probably see this come up again. Here we have one of my moments that I went crazy. This happens to me a lot. You probably saw it in the Inktober drawing. I don't remember what the drawing was, but anyway, yeah, this happens sometimes where I break down and lose my mind and I go crazy. Yep, still going crazy. And yep, I'm still crazy. Oh, here, this is interesting. This is, I actually found these papers in here. Me coming up with ideas on what I was going to do for my sketchbook cover. So in my art class, every year you have to, when you get a new sketchbook, you have to come up with an idea for a sketchbook cover. So here was my first idea. I was going to do, I guess this was going to be my first idea, which was a pretty decent idea. But then eventually I came up with this idea. So I was like, oh, we'll do like this destroyed burning fort, or no, I was thinking like very World War I, like trench warfare, and like flamethrowers and everything being destroyed and burnt and grimy. And I was thinking like the background's gonna be all like black and white and gray, while the character will actually be in like very desaturated color, but color nonetheless. And I was like, this is a really good idea. I like this idea. And then like, even though it's a war with guns, I was gonna have like this character like wounded in the shoulder, holding a like a sword. And I really like this idea with like smoke in the background. So obviously I have my name to the left here, and it says Tatsu and Ryu, and those both mean are different words for dragon in Japanese. And then here you can see I'm trying to flesh out the idea more of the character. So at first I thought of this idea with like a World War I or II kind of helmet and a scarf, and I was like, I don't really like how that's looking. And then you can see here I build up my armor, and I'm really proud of this drawing. Actually, this is one of the first drawings that I was really proud of. I was proud of how I did the hair. I was proud, not very proud of the face, but I was very proud of how I designed the armor. This was like my first time ever designing armor and trying to recreate clothing of any kind. And I usually always draw hair very poorly, so I was very happy with how the hair came out and how the armor came out. Those are the two things I was very happy about this drawing. This drawing did inspire me to do a lot more cooler things. This was an idea for an art contest that I was going to do. And this is the idea more fleshed out. So I was going to have, I actually have this drawing on my computer, but I never submitted it because I hated it, how it was coming out, and I stopped like a quarter of the way. But the idea was about this, I think it's a Chinese story, about this koi fish turning into a dragon. I don't really know how the story goes, I never read the story, but we basically had to draw our interpretation of it. So my idea was to draw like this dragon that has a koi fish tail, and he was looking over this koi fish pond, remembering when he was a fish and missing it, if you will. And I was gonna have like the lunar festival behind him, and it was a very decent idea. And the sketch looks a lot better on the computer, but again, I don't like how it's coming. This was a weird dragon design here. I tried going with a dragon design that I hate personally, where they have like no legs and very long arms and very bat-like wings. I hate this design, and I even hated when I tried to draw it. And it looks like that is it for the sketchbook. Usually I like to leave a couple pages at the back. I don't think I did that with a lot of my other sketchbooks, but usually I'm done with the sketchbook once I get to the last couple pages. But thank you so much for watching. This video is holy cannoli. I'm gonna have to edit it down. Yeah, this video is gonna have to be way edited down, and I have to figure out how to not talk so much, I guess. So we'll put this here, and thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Hello, thanks for watching the video. I have about 20 seconds to tell you what's going on. So we got BAM over there is a video that I recommend to you. BAM over there is a video that YouTube recommends for you. BAM over there is the outro music. Make sure to comment down below and make sure to read the description for more information. I did pretty good there. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video, guys.